Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. We've been away for a few weeks, and I'm grateful to be back with all of you today. I'm really excited about what is going to be coming in the next few weeks. And if you stay with this channel and follow very closely, you're going to prevent a lot of unnecessary suffering for yourself and other people, as we are in a very powerful time of awakening, love, and transformation. We're in a very, very important place to understand where you are in consciousness. Good morning, everybody. We'll wait a couple minutes for everybody to come and join us. So this concept of awakening, love, and freedom, they all go together. And whether you are aware of this or not, you are in a process of awakening. You're in a process of awakening. Now, what we've been told is there's a lot of change happening on the planet right now. If you notice, over the last couple of weeks, there have been massive power failures in places like Spain and Portugal, Bali, and others that they won't talk about. And these things are not happening as random acts or unfortunate events. These are effects of causes that we're participating in. Each and every one of us on this planet is a participant in this global phenomena called life. Then every single human being on this planet is an electrical consciousness. Your fundamental nature of being is electrical, physiologically, psychologically, emotionally. Your consciousness, your awareness, everything that we exist in as individuals and as a species is an electrical phenomena, a dynamic, interchanging, living, sentient consciousness that's based in electrical conditions. And different emotions in the human range affect your electrical condition of your body, of the space around your body. The different states that you go into change the electrical functioning of your life. And these events that you're seeing happening around the world will continue to increase so long as we stay polarized to a vibration known as fear, as opposed to a vibration known as love. Each is a different electrical potential. That every single human soul on this planet, whether they are aware of this information or not, whether you know this or not, this is the truth. You are an electrical being, part of an electrical system that you interact with, whether you're aware of it or not. And you have the capacity to become conscious of this fact, that you are an electrical being, that you interact with everything around you, and everything around you interacts with you. And you can alter and change the way in which you're influenced by events and circumstances around you. You can have an electrical fortitude in the form of love. The vibrational state of love has an electrical fortitude to it that prevents you from being affected the way most people are being affected by the electrical interference of what we call fear. Now, it doesn't matter whether you believe this or not. You are electrically participating in life. Between 1867 and 1892, there was a mass extinction event propagated by humans on this planet. 12 to 15 million creatures you call bison were eliminated. This affected the electrical potential on the planet. Naturally, there is an organic balance of positive and negative charge in the natural dynamic of nature. Nature, what science calls nature, living things. There is normally a dynamic and healthy balance of electrical change and transformation. The lion eats the gazelle eats the grass. Everything is dynamically interacting and exchanging on a regular basis. That process still continues, but when the human consciousness evolved itself out of simply collective consciousness into individuality, individuals began to interfere with, or we could say, began to experiment with their consciousness and how it affects time, space, and matter. And whether it be the destruction of a species such as the buffalo or the passenger pigeon or whales or even humans, the whole genocidal state of behavior affects the electrical integrity and function of the consciousness of this unique system that you are a part of. And you have this wonderful opportunity right now on the planet where the energy of awakening is occurring. It's necessary. It's necessary that you begin to awaken. It's very necessary. This awakening is based in two polarities of consciousness, two electrical potentials, you might say. The electrical potential of love and the electrical potential of fear. Both, when in balance, allows nature to function dynamically and constructively and beneficently. And only in the realm of humanity do we see where a deliberate and intentional imbalance can be set into play. Greed, power, control, and authority, wielded for selfish reasons, have resulted in this tremendous imbalance that has occurred in the last less than 200 years upon this planet. A tremendous imbalance, an extinction of many species perpetrated by the desires, wants, and exorbitant needs of humanity. And although this has not been going on for just this period of time, it has been going on for many, many thousands of years. It is only in this technological age that the destructiveness of that selfishness has provided the massive change that you're seeing. And what does this have to do with power failures and even earthquakes and such events? These are electrical events happening in time and space in which you as a physical being exist. You exist as a physical organism in a frequency of energy called matter. It is an electrical function at a different frequency than, say, your mind or your emotions or your thoughts. Different electrical potentials can interact with others and change them. You're doing this all of the time, whether you're conscious of this or not. Love is a choice. Awakening is a choice. Fear is a choice. Freedom and enslavement are products of the choices of love or fear. In the human realm, in the realm of the animal, there is a dynamic, what your science calls an instinctual functioning of how animals interact with the environment and with each other in order to thrive and survive. But in the human realm, your ability to deliberately and not so beneficently create difficulty is a matter of your free will. Love and fear are very different electromagnetic functions. The vibration of fear is known to contract the field of organic animals. Your body is an animal. In a state of fear, your field collapses. In a state of fear, your vibration interacts with the environment around you, just as the vibrational state of love and compassion interacts with your biological field and the space around you. This process of awakening is where you get to become aware that you can choose consciously whether you will function through love or through fear. Quite simply, that is what the awakening is. That you get to decide if you will function from love or fear, through reason, through instinct. This is the time where you get to willingly and consciously choose what you will electrically contribute to creation. This electrical interaction causes behavior. The emotion of fear causes behavior. The emotion of love causes behavior. These causes and effects are not limited to the feeling you experience when you're in love or in fear, but it electrically interconnects with other aspects of creation around you. Your humanity right now is in a very, very low vibrational state overall. You've shifted your consciousness from love to fear more intensely over these last 200 years than at any other time in your history. First of all, your populations were not so dense globally, and so the effects electromagnetically upon the system of what you call Earth was very minimal at best. As your populations grew and your systems of knowledge and wisdom expanded, your ability to electrically interact with or interfere with the life forms, the balance, so to speak, of nature became more apparent as it is now to you today. In the sense that humans are contributing what you call global warming, we would not say that. We would simply say that humans are contributing to changes based on love or fear, based on the dominant emotional electrical potential that you choose to engage in on a moment-to-moment basis. And your fear affects not just your body and not the people around you. It affects animals, it affects birds, it affects mountains and rivers. Your fear individually cannot assert too much of an influence upon the conditions of the environment around you. However, the collective effect of humanity, whether you are in a dominant state collectively of love or fear, has a significant effect upon the electromagnetic potential that sustains life on this planet. And so you find yourselves collectively in a more dominant state of fear than you ever had before because there's so many more people than there used to be. The attempts to depopulate the planet in the hope that you could prevent what is happening is having the exact opposite effect than what you expected as well. You thought, well, let us reduce the population, and that will reduce the effects of the electromagnetic interference of humans upon the planet, upon the environment, on the very earth itself. And this is not working too well for you because the function of free will cannot be ignored nor denied. That if you try to force an idea upon individuals without their knowledge of what you're doing, then that is not free will. And the function of fear through mechanisms of authority, power, and control, political machinations, forced medical conditions, and behaviors diminishes the function of your effectiveness as a species. Whereas the education of what it is to be of goodness, of compassion, of kindness, of love, of curiosity, of playfulness to yourselves and to one another will have a very different effect. But you are seeing now the global collective effect of your fear now beginning to create gaps in your magnetic field and in the interplay between this Earth and the other planetary bodies in this particular solar system. There is an interplay between your consciousness, whether that consciousness is of love or fear. There's an interplay between your consciousness, the environment, the planetary systems that exist within your solar structure. And your fear is weakening the electromagnetic field around it. Your science is trying to understand how the sun interacts with the earth and how these electrical exchanges, and yes, the sun is a great and vast potential, but it's still reactive and responsive, just as you are to a friend or a neighbor who says something to you. The sun is reactive and responsive to the planetary bodies in the same way you are reactive and responsive to the people that you love and care about, or the people you dislike. There's an electrical interaction you call relationships that cause behaviors and actions towards one another. The same function of electrical potential exists between the sun and the other planetary bodies, that they interact with each other. It is not a one-way street, nor is it a one-way street between yourself and your environment. You interact with your environment all the time. You interact with other beings in this physical dimension by the nature and quality of your consciousness. And awakening allows you to become aware you do have a choice between love and fear, and the functions of love, the characteristics of love, the functions of fear, and the characteristics of fear. You have a choice. In the awakening, you awaken to choice. Yes, there are these other dimensions, and yet, how can you hope to explore other dimensions when you have not learned to master the most fundamental and correct use of your free will? How can you consider venturing into realms of which you know nothing without learning to master the realm in which you exist? And so you find yourself, so many of you, awakening, some of you confused and uncertain, looking for something or someone outside of yourself to guide you. And we would simply say to you that within you is the capacity and the very power of free will, which leads to freedom. The use of your will correctly ultimately leads to freedom. And so now you may find yourself in this position of awakening, and that in every single moment you can choose between love and you can choose between fear. In every moment, not in some, in every moment, you have the option in this process of awakening to choose between love and fear. And that is the deciding factor in what is to come upon this planetary system. Whether you will choose to sustain and maintain your functions of authority, control, and power for the sake of authority, control, and power, or whether you will begin to understand that fundamentally you need the strength in numbers to shift from fear to love in order to establish the paradigm you wish to experience. There is a rhythmical cycle to life that you, as a conscious creating intelligence, when you are aware enough of this, you can alter and change the effects of creation itself. There are certain ways you're learning to do this with your cloning technologies and other such things that you're beginning to develop. But there's a more beneficent way you can use your will and your knowledge and your technology to awaken and inspire all of your people to understand that the influence of electrical potential such as love is very different than the influence of the electrical potential of fear. And the places where you're going to see the most dominant energies of fear are the places where you will see these electrical intrusions, these power failures and such things going to happen, as the electrical field will react and respond, and is doing more so more frequently because you are vacillating, so many of you, back and forth between love and fear. And the vast majority of you that are awakening don't even know you're awakening or what it means or how it will affect you. Many of you cannot even get your mind into a state of peace. And this is not because there's something wrong with you. It is simply you've not been provided with the correct information, knowledge, or understanding on how to assume proper constructive authority over the use of your own free will in its divine function of love, as opposed to its destructive function of fear. And the process of awakening allows you to have that choice, to know that you in any moment, any thought, any act, any word that you speak is either of love or fear. In any moment, there is only love and there is only fear. For you, for all of you, irregardless of your religions, which of course are also products of love or fear. Your political machinations, which are products of love or fear. Your dominant emotional state is what propagates the creative process you experience individually and collectively. And there's no denying it. There's no saying, oh, it's because of them. It's because of all of you. It does not matter whether you are tall or short. It does not matter whether you are conservative or liberal or Muslim or Christian. You only have two options of function. No matter what your function of philosophy or science is, no matter your political, social, or psychological structure of belief in your mind, you only have the choice to carry out the functions of love or the functions of fear. You do not have any other choice. It is very simple. There are many shades and degrees to the experience of love and expressions of love. And there are many shades and degrees to the experiences of fear and the expressions of fear. And in any moment, you're choosing one or the other, whether you are aware of this or not. And this is the delight, is that you can become aware. And this is what we are saying. In the awakening, you become aware you have a choice of either the function of love or the function of fear. They operate very differently in how they affect matter, time, and space. The function of love is lifeward. The function of fear is not so lifeward, but they do require both. They are both required in balance. But right now they're very imbalanced upon your planet. Your love and your fear are very imbalanced on this planet because of the mechanisms primarily of control, authority, and fear. The use of fear for control and power and authority has restricted and limited you. Your systems of education purpose for the exclusive benefit of those in positions of power and authority. Many of your social and economic systems are based also in these mechanisms of control, authority, and power. And those that have the control, authority, and power over these machinations, they've done everything that they possibly can to try and figure out the solution to the problem. And the solution to the problem is to begin to teach the people to remember, to awaken, to know that you are a function of free will, and that free will can only be exercised in the direction of love or the direction of fear. You cannot serve two masters. So all that you will say, all that you'll do will come from either love or fear. And this is the awakening, when you awaken to the realization that you have the choice between love and fear in any moment of your existence. Do you love your body? Do you treat the consciousness of your body with love or fear? Or do you enjoy the selfish indulgence of taste and smell for the sake of taste and smell, with no regard for the impact upon your body's consciousness? Your body, by the grace of the creative process, exists for you to experience matter. How do you treat it? Do you exercise love in your thoughts, in your words, to your own self, to those that you love? To whom do you exercise love, and how? There are approximately 2 billion human souls on this planet awakening at this moment. Many of you are confused and uncertain as to what is going on and why. And to eliminate that confusion, we would say to you, the way to end your confusion is to understand that there is a distinction between love and fear. There are thoughts that are of love, and there are thoughts that are of fear. There are words that are of love, and there are words that are of fear. There are acts that are of love and acts that are of fear. That is the simplest equation we can bring it down to for you. And if you begin to evaluate on a moment-to-moment basis, am I of love in this thought, this word, this action? Am I of fear in this thought, this word, this action? And when your choice becomes more a function of love, then you'll begin to see profound changes happen in your experience of being. You'll change the electrical contribution you offer to this experience of physical reality. It's taken nearly 200 years for your species in its technological evolution and its process of free will and free thinking to create the existing conditions in which you find yourself. It will not take as long when that process is consciously carried out by a larger number of people. Those that are in positions of power and authority that have sought to direct humanity down a path of righteousness and goodness, the vast majority of them have operated strictly for selfish reasons. And those that have chosen to shift humanity to a better expression of life, well, we need more of you. More of you to realize you can shift from fear to love. So those in positions of power and authority have lost their way as equally as you have lost yours in the confusion of this awakening. More rigorous educational systems to create functional individuals to be a specific way for your own purpose and gain is not going to relinquish the free will that's necessary to create the change you want. And so education must then loan itself to understanding the difference between love and fear. And that each of you is responsible for that, not the other. You can't make another person responsible for your feeling, for your thinking, for your actions. You cannot make another responsible for them. You must assume authority over your thoughts, your words, and your emotions. And that becomes your electrical contribution to the process of creation here. Your timeline is very short, to less than 20 years, to make the necessary corrections for what your science is recognizing, that there is a significant change in what is happening, that there is a process they call the reset that has happened in significant times and insignificant civilizations over many millions of years, most of which your sciences have no knowledge or even vague memory of. But this is happening again, and it is preventable. Understand that the functions of your thoughts, your words, and actions can only be of love or fear. You cannot be neutral and have an effect on creation. There is no neutrality. Or as one of your great teachers said, if you are neither hot nor cold, I'll spit you out of my mouth. Which means if you are not a participant in the process of creation, you are not necessary. This is what one of your great teachers has said. But the function of love and fear are these two polarities, hot and cold, love and fear. And you get to exercise your function of that consciously. You are exercising your function of that all of the time, whether you are aware of it or not. You are functioning from love or fear. And so the function we have with this one is that we will be ramping up our encouragement towards you to shift your consciousness from fear to love, your acts from fear to love. There is no other way. Reducing your numbers will not change the function of your behavior. If anything else, the deliberate and malicious harm to your brothers and sisters upon this planet is having the exact opposite effect of what you expected. Because you are contributing through harm, you are contributing to fear. You contribute to fear, you contribute to the degradation of the divine balance of love and fear. But through the function of love, through the correct instruction to people about how to understand the distinction between love and fear as a thought, as a word, as an action, is far more valuable than any science or education outside that you can give. We are not saying that there is no value in those. We are simply saying that there is greater value in understanding and teaching individuals to know the difference between love and fear, as these make the difference between what you call life and death. Love and fear cause very different effects in your experience of time and space. And so we will leave this to you, to invite you to come and join us as we will be very intensely focusing on this shift in consciousness, as it must be carried out with great earnestness and an importance, that you have an ability to affect change in ways that you are not consciously aware of yet, but you can profoundly affect and influence your entire world collectively, more so than individually. Segmentary groups, segmentary religions, political venues, different things like this that are created, they cannot have as great an effect as a combined consciousness, as a combined collective consciousness bent in the direction of love, will have a significantly stronger impact and influence over your experience of time and space and matter. Your time is limited under the existing conditions in which you all thrive. It does not matter what country you're in, what race or color or creed. It does not matter. What matters is, are you functioning from love, or are you functioning from fear? Which is very simple. The functions of fear will electromagnetically degrade the magnetic field of this planet. That's what's happening. it will increase rather than decrease. The first thing you can do as a collective species is stop all war. Stop all war. If you want to create a quick change, stop all war. The magnetic electrical system of this dynamic Earth and the interplanetary connections it has are influenced and affected by your consciousness. Whether you accept that or believe that or not, it is true. And war is a horrific display of fear and has a corresponding effect, not just upon the people involved, but to all of you. And in this last 200 years, you're not understanding this has caused a great accumulation of this fear. And now you're beginning to see the effects of it. If you want to make a significant change in your electromagnetic experience of life on this planet, we would say to stop all war, stop all aggression, stop all violence upon others and upon yourself, for you contribute to the overall effect of these things. Not one of you can escape the process of creation that you are a participant in, but you can certainly decide whether or not you'll continue as you are, or you will change. Many civilizations have come and gone, many whom you will never know or understand, echoes of the past that cannot be heard any longer. And you can become an echo of the past, or you can understand that you are in this process of awakening. Love and freedom, you're in that process. Awakening allows you to have the choice to choose between love and freedom. That's what awakening is, to have the choice to choose what master you will serve, love or fear. And in anything you say or do, you are so contributing to love or fear upon this planet. Wow. Thank you, Ashton and others. I'm really grateful for this. I want to say I'm grateful to be back. Patreons, I'm looking forward to our live event on the 7th of this week. It's going to be very interesting. You'll be receiving all the information in the next day or two. And we are at a very pivotal point in human history. We're at a very pivotal point in human history. We'll take a few questions and go about what we're doing here. Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much. Rachel's asking Archangel Raphael, am I on the right track with the fruit and juice cleaning I've been implementing to rid Epstein-Barr and heal my eye inflammation? Eyes were improved at checkup and doctor shocked. Congratulations. And yes. There is something else they're saying to include. What is that? Somebody said something that you need to include. What is it? What is the thing that she needs to include? He's saying that it will be revealed to you in the next couple of days what you need to include in the diet. Thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Salt? Okay. So someone else is saying salt, Rachel. It's not Raphael. Raphael said he's already working with you. You're already on track with what he's working and guiding you to do. But someone's saying salt, real salt, not salt that's iodized and messed up with. But salt would be very beneficial for you as well. Thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you, Grace. I really appreciate that super chat. Thank you so kindly. Hi. Hi. Jasmine asking, are we as we are multidimensional beings in this reality, are we also a higher self to those who are living in parallel reality? Yes, you are. Absolutely. That's a great question, Jasmine. So what your question is, for those that may not understand it, is you're a multidimensional being. You're on a dimension of biology. You're on a dimension of thought, which is an invisible framework of information that interacts with matter, time, and space. You're on a dimension of awareness, but you're also on these other dimensions of perception and consciousness. And she's saying, if we are on these other dimensions of energy, can we be the higher self to another being? And the answer is absolutely yes. You could be a being as a being because you're multidimensional. You can be many lives, many states at the same time. It's a wonderful question. Hope you had a good break, William. Well, actually, we didn't have a good break. We had a great break. We had an awesome break. We took the time to. We didn't take the time, but we came up. It took us 16 days to go from where we were to where we are. And of course, we renovated another part of where we're living right now. We tore a room apart and rebuilt that. And so, yeah, it's always something exciting and dynamic to do in life if you choose, right? But thank you so much, Kira. I really appreciate that. Hi, Drusilla. It's so grateful that you had your journey and made that. Hi, Meeks. Welcome, Meeks. What we love is important. People go where they place their love in life. That's correct. Meeks is also saying, well, that will happen when Lord takes his mercy away and it's reserved for his servants, like in the beginning. So in the end, in the beginning was only good or evil. Then came his compassion. That's true. There is a divine consciousness that's interacting with what we are all doing here right now. It's a divine consciousness, and you're part of it. Right? You're all part of it. Hi, TikTok. Are you back in Toronto? So happy you took the time off. Thank you. No, we're not back in Toronto. We're in the Toronto region, but we left Toronto a couple of years ago because it was just becoming a very difficult energy to be in with what is occurring sociologically and politically in Canada right now. Yeah. Celtic sea salt is very good. Also, real salt is very good, but make certain the source of your salt is good. Good afternoon to my favorite medium. Are there any messages for me today? Well, I'm glad I'm your favorite medium, Hannah. Thank you so much. Grounding is so important. If you're going to practice what they're saying, like this state of love and grace, if you're going to practice this state of love and grace, it's really important that you do it with the earth. Like put your feet on the earth. You're an electrical body. You're an electrical mind. You're an electrical soul. And we are electrical, periods, all electrical at different rates and frequencies of vibration. The electrical potential of matter is different than the electrical potential of thought, but they dovetail and fit into each other. And again, for you, it's really important when you go out and ground today, let the function and transmission of your love go through your feet to the earth. Right now, the Earth's magnetic, like if somebody yells at you right now, if somebody came up and yelled at you and said something that wasn't so nice to you, you would find a reaction. You might not react, but you'd find a response. Your body would automatically react, but you might not react. Every thought, every word, every action is an electrical transmission. And what's happening is that human fear energy is really affecting the planet. And that's causing a change in its electromagnetic field, which affects the sun. And then the sun receives a vibration from the earth electrically that there's something not correct. And the sun will send energy back to the earth in an attempt to correct the system. Just like if your body gets a virus or a bacteria, it reacts and responds to correct the imbalance in the system. While the earth and the sun and the other planets function in similar dynamic fashion, energetically with each other. But for you, feet on the ground and let your love be transmitted into the earth, right? You'll get a very interesting experience from that. Hi, Drusilla. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Love you all too, darling. I'm glad you did that trip. You really need that trip. Question from Vertical. What causes the vertical lines in the nails of the ring and little fingers? You've got a very strong flow of energy that moves through those fingers. Remember, your fingers are actually pointers. The energy leaves your fingers. If you take a Kirlian picture of use Kirlian photography, take a picture of your hand, you'll see there's a field. You can direct the field out from one finger to another finger. You can transmit energy through your fingers. You know, the things you see on like Star Wars where the Emperor is transmitting his energy, or Luke Skywalker is lifting things up. These are real interactions that can be developed and cultivated in anybody. You can learn to develop and cultivate that, right? They don't want to tell you that either. Can you? Hi, Kristen. How you doing? Are there any messages for me? Yes, if you've been listening carefully, then you understand that it is so important. It's so important you understand that you have a function of free will to choose between love and fear. Evaluate and examine what you go through today. Are you thinking, acting, and doing as love would do? Are you thinking, acting, and doing as fear would do? It'll make a huge difference for you. Just that little consideration. And what I'm about to say, is it of love or fear? And what I'm about to do, is it love or fear? It's important you learn to make that distinction. It really is. It really is. Thank you for that super sticker, Amanda. Really appreciate it. Yes. Oh, thank you, Rachel, saying perfect. Been guided just the past couple of days to include celery juice as it contains mineral salts. Interesting. Finally, hearing the guidance. Thank you for helping me alchemize my anxiety. You are the best. Thank you so much, Rachel. Takes one to know one, doesn't it? Missed you all. My questions, any advice from my guides? Stillness for you today, Irene. Spend some time in stillness. Like, it's really important for you. Something is going to open up in your heart. You spend time in stillness today. Something's going to open up in your heart. But you need to spend, they're saying at least 15 to 20 minutes in stillness today, and be aware of what opens up in the heart. All right, very important. Thank you, Grace, for that super sticker. Really appreciate that. Yeah, remember our parents used to say, watch where you point. Don't point at people, because you direct energy. There's usages of how you use your fingers, even how you use your words, or where you look and how you look at things. Energy, you're transmitting and receiving energy all the time. All of us are, right? It's a very fascinating thing. Tiffany's saying, I need guidance on my career getting burned out. Well, again, shifting your energy, you need to understand what's really important. You need a change in your life. This is what's happening. So ask yourself, ask yourself this question: what changes can I make in addition to what I'm doing? You don't want to leave the job you're in right now, but you want to say, what else can I do? You want to open up to other possibilities. Because a lot of people say, should I stay in this job or should I go to a new job? Stay in the job and find something new to do. Don't just go either or. Either or is a bad energy. You want to do this or this or this, this and this and this, this and this versus this or this. Feel the difference? Do I do this or this? Do I do this and this? Feel the difference in the energy of those considerations. Do I stay in this job or do I leave? Do I stay in this job and do I find something else I'd love to do? Stay in the job and find something else. The and will always take you out of the difficulty or will always keep you trapped in it. Right? Hi. Any info would be appreciated within 5. Gotta work. Again, center yourself out of fear. Get out of fear and that anxiousness. What does love operate as a word, as a thought, as an action? How does love work through your body? What is its expression? Go through the rest of this day considering the function of love as being a deliberate choice in how you're going to walk, how you're going to talk, how you're going to speak, how you're going to write. Let it be a function of love. Consciously choose to let it be a function of love, and you'll start to have a very different day than you're expecting. Truly. Hi, Tiffany. Glad you're here. Oh, you're very, very welcome. So glad you came by. Time for a few more questions. Electromagnetic healing discussion. Yes, it's partly that too. Absolutely. Michael, any advice on the guy I'm speaking to? I'm trying not to be in energy of worry, just excitement. Again, for those of you that are looking for a relationship, do not go out looking for a relationship without defining that you're searching for authentic love. That you're searching, because remember, the words, the thoughts, the actions of love are very different than the words, the thoughts, and the actions of fear. They're very different. And you can evaluate a person's behavior very quickly. Are they speaking from love or are they speaking from fear? How do they talk about their friends, their family, their parents? What is their dominant function? Choose love, right? But be very mindful that you're choosing a person that is electromagnetically in alignment with you. You do that anyway, even if you make a bad choice and it doesn't work out well for you, it's because you were in electrical resonance and then it changed, and that changes the relationship, right? Thank you for joining. What's the yin yang or unconditional love essence of the now? This is a great question. What is the yin? Someone's asking, what is the yin yang or unconditional love essence of the now? The only way you'll know that is to move into the present moment. And the moment you move into the present moment, then you'll know that answer. I cannot give you the experience that you can give yourself. However, if you move your awareness into the present moment, you'll understand the answer to your question is bliss, peace, joy. It's very different because you're no longer in polarity. Question, somebody asked me, am I connected to Archangel Michael? Yes, very intimately, since about age 5. Although I wasn't always aware of it. It's only been these last, 6 or 7 years that I've become aware that I'm actually connected to guides and angels. And everybody's got guides and everybody's got angels. You're not in this journey alone. Not only do you have human people that will guide you, there's high vibrational people, there's low vibrational people. But my delusion is that you will connect to your guides and angels if you really, truly want to. And again, we have a masterclass. You can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out our masterclass series. And sign up for our next masterclass 101, which is going to be coming around in about another 4 to 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks. And you want to sign up for that masterclass and get an introduction to how you tune into your guides, how you tune into your angels, how you tune into God or the ascended masters that you want to connect with. There's a process that you learn to change the way you see and the way you hear. A lot of people try to find what they're looking for with their eyes and ears, but you have to learn to use your inner ear and your inner eye to see and to hear very differently than you've been trained to see and hear by the world. Hi. I'm feeling very excited about this, but how do I take a step back and assess logically? I'm just taking it that Jesus is guiding and protecting me. Yes, but you still have free will. Jesus guides and protects a lot of people, as does Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, Sanat Kumara. Many angelic beings, ascended masters, are guiding a lot of people right now. However, the people themselves that they're guiding must exercise their function of free will and choice to choose whether they're going to follow love or fear. So Jesus will guide you, but you will still have to choose. You still have to choose whether you will operate from love or fear. Master Jesus teaches, or Yeshua, some call him Yeshua. That was his actual proper name, Yeshua. And he taught love. He said, love one another, which means that to say those words, love one another, implies that love is a verb. And it is a word, and it is a very specific thing. To understand if your actions are of love or fear is really important for ourselves individually and our species and our whole planet. Like, we are affecting this earth in ways that, well, again, go back and watch the original transmission today. How do I operate from love, Michael? I get so worried to make the wrong choice. If you are in worry, then you are not in love. If you find yourself worried about making the wrong choice, the worry is the thing you want to put aside. The worry is the thing you want to put aside, because the worry will precipitate you making a choice that's based in fear and not love. Get excited about making good choices. Get excited about making good choices and watch what happens. Get excited about doing good and being your best self. And that excitement will create a different choice. The energy of worry will create certain thoughts. The energy of worry will create certain words. The energy of worry will create certain actions. The energy of excitement will create certain thoughts, certain words, certain actions. The energy of playfulness, you get to define. You are always being guided, but you are also the one that gets to choose. And no guardian angel, no ascended master, not even Jesus, will tell you what you must do. He will say, this is what you need to do. But they will never force you to make a choice. You must, of your own free will, choose to return yourself to love. You must, of your own free will, choose to do that. They will not force you to be what they think you should be, ever. 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 Oh, thank you, Jean, for that super chat. Could you please tell me what is causing the rash on my arms and legs? Is it caused by food or something else? I'm going to say this with a grain of salt. Thank you for that super chat, Jean. Yes, there are things that are being put in the air, and there are things that are being put in the food, and there are things being put in the water. If you can start growing natural foods, it'd be very, very beneficial for you to start growing natural foods. And particularly for you, I'm getting really strong suggestion for you to go towards citrus fruit. Good organic citrus fruits. And the orange seems to be at the top of this pyramid. I'm seeing like an orange, a lime, a lemon, yes, and grapefruit. So it's actually forming like a diamond. So orange, lemon, lime, and grapefruit. These will be really powerful for you right now to help clear that up. But yeah, there's a concerted effort to depopulate in the attempt to try and reduce the negative electromagnetic impacts of human collective fear. But it's actually having the opposite effect. It's unfortunate. But yeah, there's a lot of people being affected that way, Gene. Michael, I was given antibiotics today for bronchitis. Is there anything I can take instead? Okay, what I want you to do, when you take a breath today, every time you stop, as often as you can today, when you take a breath, just put your hands over your chest, over your lungs like this, right? Put your hands over your chest like this, over your lungs, and breathe in and say, as you breathe in, think the thought, I am so grateful for this breath as it is. And when you exhale, you do the same thing. I'm so grateful for this breath as it is. And slowly and deliberately breathe with that intention. Those words. I'm truly grateful for this breath. You want to get focused and connected to gratitude and your breath. Gratitude will organize the function of your physiology very differently. Antibiotics will do what antibiotics do. And again, I'm not a medical intuitive, and I'm not a medical professional. I'm just simply saying, take your hands, put them over the chest, and when you breathe in, say, I'm so grateful for this breath. And when you exhale, you think the same thing. I'm so grateful for this breath. And you spend as often as you can today in gratitude for your breath. And it will reorganize and change the electrical functioning of your lungs, right? Just when you say to somebody you love, I love you so much. You know, when you say you love somebody and you really mean it and they feel it, your body feels what you think. Every thought you think, your body feels. Every memory you focus on, your body remembers. Anyway, great question. Thank you for asking it. Hi there. Grace is asking, do I see any angels or archangels guiding me? I see two of them right now, right? I see two of them right now that are working with you. Again, you can become conscious of them by learning the process of how to perceive them. You got to change your perceptual apparatus from matter to energy. And again, we instruct people on how to do that. Hi. Well, I think we're complete on TikTok, and I think we're complete on YouTube. I'm grateful that you all came back. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I'm really excited about what's going to be coming in the next few weeks. We're really going to be ramping up the importance and value of shifting our energy, individually and collectively, from fear to love. It's going to affect the planetary grid as it's being affected right now. But what they said earlier, stop all the quickest way to change what's happening electromagnetically is, first of all, stop all wars right now. Stop it, because you are electrically altering everything. It's like you're standing in the middle of the street and somebody screams at the top of the lungs, "I love you," right? And everybody reacts to that in a certain way. Somebody can be standing in the street and say, I hate you," and everybody will react to that in a different way. How we contribute in thought, in words, and actions isn't just localized to your own immediate time and space. You affect everything. I want to wish you all much, much love. I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the Wednesday edition of Shortcut for Your Soul. Much love. Take care. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. Bye for now.